spotlight. Belfuse is here with the CFO. We have Farouq Tuwieq is with us to talk all about the latest earnings report, a double beat for this company. It's a nice way to start off an interview when, you know, the company is doing well and the stock's up over 200%, so tripling over the last 1 year. What's going right for this company?
Yeah, so great to be here. We feel that we have an exciting story. We've been around for 70 years, but we've been really busy the last couple of years, focusing on driving shareholder value through improving our margins. Obviously, we've been aided a lot by the mega trend tailwinds in our sector, but also the team has been very busy. We are across the world, 7,000 employees, heads down, trying to improve our margins to better align them to the market and our peers. And we're seeing the market reward us for that.
As we talk about what it is that you do and you're working closely, you'll explain, but you're working closely in some of these very hot areas like 5G and EV and Internet of Things. And that's exactly, you're in the right place at the right time. Is that correct?
Correct. And we obviously have some more legacy markets that are taking off right now in market, especially as we think about commercial air, defense, general industrial, in addition to some of these exciting things that you've talked about. So we've been in them for quite a long time, quite frankly, but now we're seeing a lot more of the themes around electrification, electronification benefit us as well.
Yeah, understood. I mean, you actually were on the other side of this. You were working with the company as an analyst and jumped on board here. What pulled you into this company? What drove your interest?
Correct. I was on the investment banking side, so I spent time with a lot of my competitors today, ex-clients. I got jealous talking to the operators and wanted to give it a go and jumped in, and our CEO, Dan, gave me the opportunity February 2021. And it's been an exciting ride for us, and we're seeing the results. So it's been a great ride for us. As
CFO, you've been working to cut down debt, pay down debt, and trying to do expansion and growth with this company. You've made an acquisition for an EV business. Tell me more about the growth and expansion plans.
Yeah, so it's been 3 acquisitions since I've joined. Most recent one has been the EV space, a company in Germany back in January, especially on the industrial side. We paid down our debt. We're basically now down to $60 million of debt, very under-levered, at 2.5 interest fixed rate, which we did a hedge back in December 2021. And in this environment, lowering our debt obligation has obviously been allows us to invest in R&D in other areas.
What's the competitive landscape like?
Yeah, we compete against people across the world, although in Asia, Europe, and North America. So it depends on where we are, but it's a competitive environment. So we win because of our engineer-to-engineer relationship and legacy. So we know we'll be a reliable partner. We start out in the fuse business back in the black and white TVs, and then we transition to color TVs and so on. So this is just another iteration for us. And
in this world of electronic circuits and stuff, tell me about supply chain issues. Is that still an issue?
It's definitely easing up. We've been seemingly to hell and back, but there's still some concerns, especially around MOSFETs and ICs. Easing up largely, but still some pain points along the way.
Where do you see the most demand?
Commercial air these days, defense for us, and e-mobility are I'd say the large ones. Also anything really touching networking, data center. A little bit of inventory in the channel, but that is a mega trend that we think will be here for a bunch of years, especially as we think about AI and some of the other drivers as well.
A headquarters move, you know, it jumps out at me, not because you're making a headquarters move or because you sell a building or something like that, but more because of the work from home environment. And I wonder how the labor, you mentioned about 7,000 people in the global workforce for you. You know, what are you seeing as far as that, trying to staff and sort of rejigger in the new world?
Yeah, so we're 3 days in the office, 2 at home on average, except obviously in our facilities. Our headquarters is small, roughly 25 people only, so it was an easy move. But we still believe in the value of kind of good old school human-to-human interaction. So we are flexible though, so we'll work with our employees, but we do think it's here to stay, at least for the medium term.
What are your concerns about EV growth? Because you need a lot of rare earth and parts to have that happen. You need a certain electronic grid to make that happen. A lot of these ideas are great, but I'm not sure all the pieces are in place just yet.
It's definitely catching up. There's a lot of influencing factors on the e-mobility where we play on the industrial, so heavy, expensive items, so not consumer auto. So we do buses, school trucks, mining equipment, agriculture. And we're seeing a lot of investing coming into that. A little bit slow on the grid, but we haven't hit that inflection point where it's a constraint at this point. But you always sleep with one eye open.
And when you work with, this is my last question, but you obviously have a lot of relationships, and that's part of the business, is trying to work with all these other companies. Are you working with a lot of other CEOs and CFOs and talking with them, or what are some of the themes that they're saying about the economy and what they need going forward?
Yeah, where the markets we play in are growing for the most part. We see some softness in our business, some of the inventory, but long term the demand is strong. So there is always a concern, but we haven't seen it yet. And people have been calling it for concerns and recession for 4 or 5 quarters, if not longer. We just quite frankly haven't seen it. We've seen pockets of softness, but nothing unusual for us.
Very interesting. Great to see you. Thank you for being here today. Farouq Tuwieq, CFO of Bel Fuse.